welcome back to a new video. We have, if you haven't watched the last video from the IDT car show, we destroyed my front bumper, and I actually got, if you watch my TikTok, I got Lamborghini side skirts that I was going to put on the Forester, but the rear fins are so big that you can't open the rear doors. So we're going to put the Lambo skirts on the Audi in another video. Because my splitter's now destroyed and unusable, we are going over to Shokan Visuals house, aka Tristan, and we are going to make Granda a lip kit. First though, why don't we get you guys a little pull. We've made it to Mr. Shokan's house. He's working on his car, so I can't show his car because it hasn't been revealed yet. It looks so hot, first of all. I have to see if any clips have the car in it. I'm gonna have to put it in black and white, so I'm gonna have to try and not show the car as much as I can. He has some photos and stuff of it in black and white. The color's not revealed yet, so I can't show you guys the color, but it's hot. The rear door comes down super low.
So there's your pinch weld.
Yeah, they don't need to be super deep. They just bolt right to the bottom of the skirt right here.
Okay.
You can see the outline of my old spat. I love how not having a front end on the car, you can actually see that it's got -8 degrees of camber. If you haven't seen, we'll call it this is my destroyed splitter from the Idaho trip. So we're gonna be yoinking this guy off and making a new one for it. It's just want to show. It's bad. We make marks around everything and then we trace it out. So we go every like 2 to 3 inches, so that way we make sure that everything matches. Okay, now let's figure out your depth. About 23. We'll just go with 23 inches. Okay, 23 inches. Over to the whiteboard.
Each side is going to be 23 inches from the very back of the bumper to the very front. So we have 23, 23. We want to add 2 or 3 inches on this side and 2 or 3 inches on this side. We add that to this number. And then we have our overall width.
Is a big Johnny.
I think it'll look so cool when your tires and your fins match up though.
All right, so now it's time. We have this front splitter cut out. As you guys saw us do all of that. We have all the hardware, which I don't know where I put all the hardware, just barely. Went and grabbed all the hardware, all the nut certs, all the dress up hardware that we're gonna need to mount all of this, plus the fins. If you saw my TikTok, we also already did the side skirts. The side skirts don't have fins quite yet, so we have all the L brackets and everything to make the fins. It'll be super easy to do that real quick. Like I said, we're gonna nut cert a lot of this, and we're also remounting the bumper on the car a correct way. We got some L brackets that we're gonna put right here with a nut cert in it. And because anyone that doesn't know, the only reason that we have these is because there's a giant hole here and I don't want to put a hole in my fender to hold up the bumper because that's kind of janky. So I put the quick release tabs right there just as a placement holder. We have a small hole drilled above that, which is what's been holding on the bumper ever since I put this bumper on, which was zip ties. But now that we'll have that L bracket right there with the nut cert, we'll be able to throw a dress up bolt right through that into the L bracket on both sides, which will hold the bumper up nicely. And then we're also doing the same thing on the top. We have one here and one here, right here. And right here will also be nut certed with bolts in the top to hold the bumper. Now the reason we have to mount the bumper first before the splitter is because this is gonna be chassis mounted. And when you chassis mount something, it's not mounted to the bumper. The bumper actually comes off separately. So we have to put the bumper on first. That way we can gauge the height of the chassis mount and mount that all up correctly at the correct height. Then we can pull the bumper off, mount everything where it's gonna be after we measure twice. And when everything goes back together, it'll go back together perfectly. One bracket made. We're tying off the, like I was saying, we're tying off the jack points because that's a strong part, and then the back brackets will tie off the frame, and then this is going to connect the two brackets from the front for rigidity. Kind of changed the way that we're doing this. We have these side brackets, but we didn't think doing brackets back here to give us enough rigidity up front. So what we are now doing is we're going off where the bash bar used to mount, because I don't have one because it doesn't fit with the bumper. And this will kind of act as one, and I'm going to put another bar across connecting these two plates, but we're going down from there forward to hold this, and then we're using that stuff to go from this side to this side, and that'll be more than rigid.
The cool thing about making arrows, it doesn't really come with instruction manual. You have to kind of have to be an engineer for a minute.
You got to figure it out. Also the fit right now.
Fit right now is spicy.
Spicy.
Make car parts and drink White Claws.
Yes. Fits up just nice. Nice. So now we have it all the way off the car because we are finishing up the rear bracket right here, this rear bar that's going to sit behind everything. Now once we have that mounted on, we also got to throw some through the front bar, and then it goes back on. I've got to fix the bumper brackets because the bumper brackets we built the first time were not good.
No, we decided not to measure like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, we just kind of hand drilled or eyeball drilled guessed, and it was so bad. So now we have actual brackets, and I'm about to mark where these are actually going to need to go. We'll call that good.
That's so rad.
Pretty, yeah. That is insane. All that mounting is nuts. Like, I won't stand on it.
Well, I mean, you could.
I mean, you could. It probably, like you said, it'll probably bend the lip.
If you stood right here on these flat plates, you could.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
I get nervous. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's me standing on it. Xion. That looks so crazy. Well, guys, that is the chassis mount splitter fully done. Before we ended out the video, just wanted to give you guys kind of a look at where we tied everything in the daylight. So like we said, instead of going off the back frame rails back here, we went off right here down to here, and then actually ran a bar across the back with a bunch of points in the middle that holds it up. Gives it this really good rigidity. We also tabbed off the OEM jack point and tabbed off where the OEM bash bar is supposed to go. I know I don't have a bash bar, which is not the best thing to do, and I really should have one. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some more of this stuff, the L bracket, and put another bar across or something. I don't know, maybe just something a little more. Anyways, I'm sure people are gonna be asking where can you get this material that I used on the side skirts and on this, and also, yeah, I don't know. I know I don't have the fins made yet. This took a lot longer than we thought, so that's why the fins aren't made yet, and we're gonna have to do that another day. Look at the white stuff, the white paper that's over this before you take it off that has the name of where you get it. Tristan is the one who went and picked up the sheet for me, so I can't remember exactly where he grabs it from. And all of this stuff, the aluminum flat bar and the aluminum L bracket, just got at Home Depot. This is inch wide, and I bought 4 feet of that, and we ended up using a lot more than 4 feet, so you probably need like 8 feet or more to do what I have done exactly this way with both the bars. And we also use them, like I said, to create the bumper brackets, which I just painted the same color as the bumper, so they're hidden a little better. And then the flat bar, I bought 6 feet. It was 2-inch wide flat bar, just an aluminum flat bar. I bought 6 feet. We ended up using, probably need 8 feet to make this work. Luckily, Tristan had some extra bar left over, so you'll probably need 8 feet of this stuff to make it work. And yeah, luckily all the hardware Tristan already had. I never really showed the bumper brackets. What we did is we put riv nuts in the front right here where I used to put zip ties. We just drilled out the holes bigger, threw a rib nut in there, and then we just throw a dress-up bolt through where I used to put the zip ties in the bumper like that. Same thing with these, they just have a rib nut right here and they're rib nutted into the fender and tightened into the fender. Then you have a rib nut right there that the bumper lines up and pulls into. This bracket kind of messed up on again. It's not perfectly, it sits barely a little low and it pushes it out just barely. I mean, I put the bumper on and marked through the hole and everything. I might have just accidentally slipped the drill a little low. Other than that though, it honestly fits pretty good. The other side fits really good. We remounted this because if you watch my videos, you know that this kept falling off. So I actually drilled a couple holes and a zip tie between the fender and it so it stops flying off. Other than that, we're totally done. So that's what we're getting in this video. The only other thing that I would want to do is the grill. And I'd like to make brackets to mount the grill on, because the grill right now I do 3 zip ties to hold the grill on at the moment because all my clips broke and I don't have any new clips and they always break. So it'd be nice if I got some more nut certs and mounted the grill kind of the same way. That way I don't have to cut zip ties when I take everything off and use a bunch of zip ties. I can just get the same size Allen key and just keep doing that. Like I said, we're ending this video. Thank you for watching. I don't know if we'll make a video doing the fins or not because that shouldn't be too hard of a video to do. But yeah, peace.